Dr. Reid.
Drew Campbell.
The topic on today's little video is on GLP-1, aka semaglutide, aka Ozempic, and in North American market there's even many other brand names, but Ozempic was the first. GLP-1 is the generic term, as well as semaglutide, which is a peptide. Reid, what is your opinion of this? I mean, I know where we're currently living in the world, it's growing, but it's not such the big multi-billion-dollar business as it is in North America and Australia. What is your opinion on GLP-1 semaglutide?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's been said a lot in the media from different doctors and different experts, but I mean, it's kind of a double-edged sword, right? Like, I wouldn't say it's all bad. I mean, it's certainly good if it's if people are unable to control their weight in any other way, and this helps support them to reduce their body weight and also all of the comorbidities that come along with being obese, then you could say it's a good thing. Obviously, it's not really changing lifestyle practices in and of itself, and there are some additional side effects which might come from taking any drug, so there is some downsides to it as well, but again, I don't think it's all good or all bad. I think there's a case for its use.
You know, I've heard recently Elon Musk has been using GLP-1. So there's people, I mean, originally GLP-1 semaglutide was originally for diabetics only. One of the side effects of the drug, positive or negative, usually positive, is it helps control hunger, but also loses body fat. So there's a few mechanisms in the reason for it being a fat loss drug. And those that are not clinically obese, or those that are not diabetics or pre-diabetics, are also using GLP-1. One of them, the most famous recently, is Elon Musk, and you may have seen some jawline definition coming out.
I did not know that Elon Musk was using the Ozempic.
Yeah.
But certainly the appetite suppressant mechanism of it is profound, because you hear the reports of people say they're just like no longer hungry, and so it's like much easier for them to lose weight. The problem, which I think maybe we'll get to eventually, but we can chat about it now, is like the problem is that if you're not making smarter food choices and you're just eating less food, but potentially it's not great food. This can have some health consequences. So ideally, you're eating less food, you're eating less calories, but you're beginning to be smarter about what foods you do choose to include in your diet, so that you're still hitting your vitamins, your mineral requirements, and of course your protein requirements. This would be an ideal situation, but not everybody's doing that. And so they're ending up with vitamin and mineral deficiencies, low protein diets, losing a lot of muscle mass. These are some of the downsides.
Yeah, and the muscle mass, what's the medical term for losing muscle?
Like atrophy, sarcopenia?
Sarcopenia, yeah. So this is a real concern. Sarcopenia is a real concern, and one of them that doctors now are looking at, especially in North American market, are prescribing protein. I mean, this is just a phenomenon that has never happened before. So we all know in the sports nutrition industry that protein itself, the demand of protein is going through the roof. And there's many, many reasons for that. COVID, people more concerned about their health and protecting their health, fat loss, social media, people wanting to look good. There's many, many reasons, but one of the reasons in the Western markets in the last few years is the doctors literally prescribing whey protein, particularly whey protein isolate, because it helps protect muscle from breaking down, and they're not consuming enough protein in their diets.
Yeah, I mean, it makes perfect sense that they're recommending it, right? And it's an interesting thing because, like you said, we know in the sports nutrition realm the importance of protein for maintaining muscle mass, particularly in periods of energy deficit. But a lot of the conversations around Ozempic and things like this is that this drug has some disastrous muscle wasting effect. And as far as I understand, there's no independent effect of the drug that would make you lose muscle mass. It's simply you're in a calorie deficit, you're probably not lifting weights, and you're probably not eating enough protein. And if anybody, whether they're taking Ozempic or not, put themselves in a severe calorie deficit, had suboptimal protein status and wasn't lifting weights, they would lose muscle mass.
Correct. Well, there is some, and I know that the subject's a little new to you, there is some reasons of GLP-1 and eating away muscle tissue, but that is not the main reason it's happening. The main reason, as you said, is because they're not improving their lifestyle, they're not lifting weights, and they're not consuming enough protein. And this is why, for the first time in history, actual doctors are prescribing protein. And one of the reasons, there is more demand of protein on the market and therefore less supply, and therefore the price of whey protein isolate is skyrocketing throughout the world. One of the proteins and one of the reasons we created hydrolyzed NiHPRO protein isolate is to mitigate some of the problems when it comes to the pricing of high premium quality proteins like whey protein isolate, WPI 90. So hydrolyzed NiHPRO protein isolate is very, very similar to that of a premium level protein isolate, whey protein isolate. We've constructed the protein in a way to replicate all of the positives of a good quality whey protein isolate, but without the negatives. So for doctors out there or anyone that is using GLP-1, hydrolyzed NiHPRO protein isolate or NiHPRO is a really, really good choice. Why? Because it's very similar to a whey protein isolate. However, doesn't have lactose, doesn't have sugar, doesn't have the allergens or the bloat that a traditional whey protein isolate has.
Yeah, and I think like a lot of the people that would be using Ozempic and things like this in order to reduce their weight are the same kind of customer base that are probably concerned around that bloating and things like this. So, you know, it's a good match for that segment of the population.
Yeah, and we'd like to, and you know, being one of our amazing PhDs in the team, we'd like to look at doing some third-party research. We haven't started yet, but looking at doing some third-party research on really fleshing out why we truly believe that the NiHPRO is a good choice for those using GLP-1 semaglutide. And I think one of the theoretical aspects that we believe it is one, our protein, NiHPRO, is literally zero sugar, also zero lactose, which is a sugar. So the reason for that is one of the things that if you're looking at, which most people don't, that are consuming or using semaglutide, they should be also looking at controlling or being on an insulin-controlled lifestyle, so therefore not spiking their insulin. So having a protein that is zero sugar, zero lactose, I think is very complementary into those looking to control their insulin.
For sure, yeah. I mean, you hit the nail on the head, right? With the no lactose and the it would still have an insulin response due to the protein nature of it, but a much lower insulin response, which is also why they would be recommending the whey protein to begin with. So it's certainly complementary to that lifestyle, diabetic or not, of somebody trying to reduce their blood sugar, blood insulin, things like this.
Yeah, and comparing NiHPRO to that of other alternative proteins because of the high DAS, digestive indispensable amino acid score, DAS 116, as well as the near equal leucine content in NiHPRO to that of whey protein isolate, you're also going to be consuming a protein that has very good muscle protein synthesis, or AKA also protecting muscle breakdown.
Yeah, I mean, yes, it's basically an alternative to whey, providing all of the benefits of whey and also removing some of the negatives in some people.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, as we like to say, the dairy-free whey and NiHPRO, the protein without the bloat. And especially we're seeing more and more as we go to trade shows. I'm about to go to Expo West. So if you're watching this YouTube later, it's probably after when it's edited. But anyway, without getting sidetracked on dates, we're getting more and more females that are absolutely falling in love with NiHPRO. And I don't know what this is, but because humans are humans, there shouldn't be any difference between a male consumer and a female consumer, but it seems females are more sensitive when it comes to dairy protein consumption.
That's an interesting finding. I haven't noticed that myself with the gender differences in dairy allergies, but certainly something to look into. And I mean, if you're at the tip of the spear with the marketing and engaging with the consumers, then yeah, that's interesting if that's what you're finding.
Yeah, well, just coming up at trade shows, and we're getting so many ladies and sports nutritionists that are coming up and saying, yeah, look, I don't drink dairy because I bloat or I feel uncomfortable, but I also don't want to drink vegan because it tastes so bad, or it's not a good quality protein. You know, basically we hear more and more, you know, where have you been all my life? Which is kind of nice to hear.
For sure, and you know, it provides an alternative to just eating 30 eggs a day. If you weren't going to do any protein powder and you were going to get it through animal sources, so yeah.
100%. Well, good. So I think we rabbited on long enough. But that was about GLP-1 and the benefits of protein in general, but potentially NiHPRO being a more attractive and superior source of protein for those using semaglutide or GLP-1. Thanks, Reid.
No worries, mate.